In Wilmington, Delaware, on June 27, 1996, Anne Marie Fahey was last seen, and this is her story. Anne Marie Fahey was 30 years old. She was the secretary of Delaware governor at the time. She was known as a happy and well-liked person. She was seeing a banker named Michael Scanlon since late 1995, but was secretly having an affair with Tom Capano that started in early 1994. Tom Capano was a very successful lawyer and politically connected. He was in his mid-40s, about 16 years older than Anne Marie. Everyone that came across him thought of him as a very nice and popular man. He had power, money, and looks. Tom was married and had 4 daughters, but had many mistresses throughout his marriage. He divorced his wife after 26 years, about 9 months before the disappearance of Anne Marie Fahey. Tom was the golden child and the eldest of 4 brothers, 2 of which were involved in this case. Louis Capano, the second eldest brother, ran the family construction business. Jerry was the youngest of the 4 brothers and looked up to Tom as a father figure. On June 30th, 3 days after Anne Marie Fahey went missing, investigators began to open a case to find out the cause of her disappearance. One of the first pieces of evidence was a diary that Anne Marie kept. In the diary, she noted that she was madly in love with this special person, who they originally thought to be her boyfriend, Michael Scanlon. But upon further investigation, they realized that she was actually referring to Tom Capano. One of her last entries stated that Tom Capano was a controlling, manipulative, insecure, jealous maniac. After finding the diary, the police began questioning Tom Capano, who admitted that he went out to dinner with her in Philadelphia just a couple of nights before her disappearance, but stated he dropped her off at her apartment afterward. Despite Capano's testimony, the investigators were still suspicious of Capano's involvement in her disappearance. Anne Marie's psychiatrist stated that she was trying to break it off with Tom and was in fear of him killing her. The investigators found a purchase of a rug in Tom's records. Additionally, Tom's housekeeper stated that there was a new rug and the couch had been removed recently. This gave the investigators the ability to get a search warrant. They dug up his backyard and searched his home, but no evidence was found, until an agent found a small spot of blood, no bigger than the size of an eraser on a pencil, as well as 3 smaller spots of blood on the baseboard. When asked, Tom said it belonged to his daughters, but later dropped this testimony. After further investigation, the blood was later found out to be Anne Marie Fahey. Although this wasn't enough to arrest him, a tip from an employee that worked for Louis Capano, Tom's brother, at the construction company revealed that Louis ordered the dumpster to be dumped prematurely. When questioned, Louis said that Anne Marie unsuccessfully tried to commit suicide in Tom's house to explain the blood and the disposal of the couch and the rug. They searched through the dump and found nothing. Still, no body or weapon had been discovered. In hopes of a lead, the investigators questioned Jerry, Tom's youngest brother, because he had been with Tom the day after Anne Marie's disappearance. Jerry stayed loyal to his brother until they arrested him for having illegal drugs and guns in his home. Once told that all charges would be dropped in exchange for information on the case, Jerry came clean. Jerry explained that Tom had told him months before that he was being blackmailed and might need his help taking care of it. Jerry got a call from Tom on June 28th at 5:45 in the morning that he needed help with that job. Jerry was a fisherman who owned a fishing boat at his vacation home nearby in New Jersey. They took his boat and drove 60 miles off the coast into shark-infested waters. The two dumped a chained-up fishing cooler into the water, but it didn't sink. In an attempt to sink it, Jerry shot the cooler a couple of times, but the cooler still didn't sink. Tom then took the body out of the cooler, wrapped it with the chains and an anchor for extra weight. As Jerry looked back, he saw the foot sink down into the Atlantic. Tom threw the cooler into the ocean. They went back to his house to dispose of the couch and the rug into the dumpster that Lewis would later have emptied. Lewis was also in trouble with the law because of political scandals. Once he heard his younger brother's deal, he took the same deal and confessed to ordering the dumpster to be dumped because of the bloody couch and rug. Tom was then arrested in November of 1997. With the news of his arrest, a fisherman, Ken Chubb, turned the cooler into the FBI. He found the cooler floating about 8 miles off the coast of Delaware, only 6 days after Tom and Jerry left it in the ocean. The fisherman had taken it home and repaired the holes. The barcode was still on the cooler, which was able to show that Tom Capano bought it. The investigators additionally discovered that Tom's other mistress of 15 years, Debbie McIntyre, bought a .22 caliber pistol for Tom a few weeks before the crime, which the investigators believed to be the murder weapon. In October of 1998, the trial began. Against his lawyer's advice, Tom gave his own testimony. He stated that after dinner that evening, he and Anne-Marie went to his house. When Debbie, his other mistress, showed up in fury of the two being together, Debbie was so upset she was going to shoot herself. Tom tried to stop her, but during the struggle, Anne-Marie was accidentally shot. He was trying to imply that Debbie killed Anne-Marie, and he just disposed of the body. He stated that he didn't break any bones when he put her into the cooler. But after the jury saw the cooler and examined that there was no way for him to fit a 5-foot 10-inch long body into the hard plastic 3-foot 8-inch cooler, they realized he would have to forcibly break her bones to get her in and shut the lid. No one that truly cared for someone would have been able to cram their lifeless body into a cooler. The trial ended in January of 1999. The narcissist, Tom Capano, was found guilty of first-degree murder of Anne-Marie Fahey. The following clips are a reenactment based upon the evidence and testimonies that came forward during this case.
So at dinner you mentioned Mike Scanlon.
Yeah, he's really nice, I've been seeing him a little bit. He's a banker. I like him.
Well, I don't want you seeing him anymore.
Why?
I don't want you seeing him anymore.
Why? You are such a controlling asshole. You know what? You can see as many people as you want. But when I see somebody, it's a problem. You know what? I cannot do this anymore. You know what? Get away from me. I'm done. I am done.
I'm sorry. I'm just jealous. I had something special for you.
I can't. I just can't anymore. I can't do this. I can't do this anymore.
Hey Jerry, it's Tom. Remember how I said I was getting blackmailed? We have a job to take care of.
I can't do this anymore. You do what you gotta do, Tom. Tom, are you done?
Yeah, I'm done.
Tom Capano was sentenced to the death penalty, but in 2006, after many appeals, Tom's death sentence was overturned, and the Delaware Supreme Court sentenced him to life in prison without parole. After many years in isolation, Capano gained an enormous amount of weight. He passed away in his prison cell the morning of September 19, 2011, at the age of 61. He had suffered from a heart attack, and some say he ate himself to death.